I'll leave you guys positioned like this. Feeding time for the kittens again. We're not keeping these guys. Really not keeping them.
Nugget again.
Nugget, back away, woman. These kittens are not treats. Living little beings. Go on, Nugget. Back away. So picked on. Nugget is so picked on. Ladies, can you all? Seriously? No, you're not gonna get them. Jeez. This little girl. There you go. Turn on the flash. Hopefully you guys can see better. Come on. Come on. Come on. Get the taste. Yep. Now latch. Come on. You can latch. You did it before. There we go. There we go. We have a latch. We have a latch. Ah, come on, phone. Give her soup. Trying to let you guys have a decent view there of the little kitties. I gotta be careful because I do have chickens, and chickens will actually eat mice and frogs and such. So if you got little newborn babies, do not leave them unsupervised around your chickens. Um, Geese will potentially kill them, seeing them as a threat. So the way to feed the kitties is to get it into their mouth, because they do have that reflex to suckle, just like human babies do, just like any other mammal. Once you get it in their mouth, nice and careful, you don't want to hurt them. Give them a tiny taste, like literally barely anything, because you're not trying to aspirate them. You're not trying to get, you don't want them choking on it. Now, some kitties won't really latch much, so you have to kind of control it a little bit, and you kind of have to release the milk over time. I do prefer trying to get them to latch. Come on. Come here. So I used to actually do this a lot. Look at that face. Look at that cutie pie. Yes, I know. I know. Come on. Get it in that mouth. Tiny little taste. There you go. Now you're latching. Now we're latching. Now we're drinking. So you never want to feed them upside down on their back, because that's not natural for them. Either have them parallel to the ground, their stomach is down, so they're like this, but their body is flat, which is the best position to feed them in, or have them upright like you just saw me do it. Some kittens are harder to get to eat than others. Some of them will literally fight you like crazy. They just don't recognize artificial feeders. They don't recognize anything other than a mother's teat. So there you go. Come on, Bubba's. Okay, guys, before I feed this one, check this out. This guy has a milk mustache without even drinking milk. Like, he's got a milk goatee. How cute is that? All black with a little milk goatee. Just white at the bottom of his chin. These are all males. There was a fourth one. The fourth one was too weak when I found them. They were just so cold, so skinny, so weak. I didn't have any kitten milk at the house at that moment. I wasn't able to do anything right away. So I, of course, ordered groceries and got some kitten milk just to get them by for now. I definitely don't have the kind of money and time to just, fully raise them. And I just don't have the space, guys. I'm still stuck with the other kittens I rescued. So I did reach out. to some people around in North Texas, and ooh, you hungry. And I have a person who says that they're willing to come pick them up on Thursday to basically raise them up. These kittens were literally found, 4 kittens scattered on our front, like on our lawn, like just randomly all over the grass. I have no idea if this was like something attacked them and was dragging them or something and like dropped some along the way, or if some mama cat was moving them and then was chased off at some point, which is possible as well, or if mama cat was killed or abandoned them and they were just coming out of whatever the hiding spot was where she had them, because these guys are little itty bitties. Like, these guys haven't even dropped their umbilical cords fully yet. So right now, this part is actually important as something a lot of people are not aware of. You need to burp kittens. I used to rescue kittens a lot when I lived in Arizona, for a lot before I had Pretty Bird. I probably rescued around, I think the count came out to 200, close to 200 kittens that I rescued, right, babe? Something around that, about 200. It was over 100. It was in the mid hundreds or high hundred, like high hundreds, like it was over 150. It was closer to 200, so a couple hundred kittens. Um, and I kind of specialized in the orphan kittens, so I would tube feed and bottle feed and get up. And if you're raising up orphan kittens, you literally have to get up every 2 hours all night long, 1 to 2 hours, depending on how old they are. Depending on how skinny they are, how emaciated they are, if they're not, okay, if they're not healthy, depending on whether or not they have diarrhea. And that's the next thing. You actually need to manually potty them. This is not just all cute and games when you're raising up orphaned animals. There's a lot of responsibility and it's a lot of exhaustion that comes with it. Not only are you getting up every 1 or 2 hours all night long and all day long that you're feeding them, but to top it off, every baby has to be individually burped, and then every baby, because they're not drinking from mama, from the breast, right? They're drinking out of a syringe or out of a bottle, and they're going to get air in their bellies. And just like human babies, that's not comfortable, right? When they have gas. So you help them. But here's the thing, these babies do not have the ability to go pee and poo on their own. They just don't. So you actually have to take a piece of tissue, right? And you need to get it wet with some warm water. And for anybody who thinks stuff like this is disgusting, I completely understand. You can, um, click off the video. But you basically just wipe their butt area. It will activate their instincts to release their pee and their poop. And you basically are mimicking, what you're doing is you're mimicking mamas. These guys have been very dehydrated. I just got them last night. I'm trying to get them to be better. But you're basically mimicking the mom's tongue, because mom will lick them to stimulate them to go to the bathroom, and then they will release the pee and poop. Mom actually eats it, and she does that to prevent predators from knowing where the kittens are and to keep the smells down, and for predators not to find the nest. So it's actually a very, if you think about it, clever thing to do for mammals to keep their young safe and to keep them hidden. Um, Done, and I'll be cleaning them all off properly soon. Here you go. Yes, I know you're tired. You want to go nighty night. Yes, yes. Anyway, this one I think is gonna be a fluffy kitten. Look at that face. How cute is that, huh? Isn't that adorable? I'm guessing that these guys are about between 3, 4 days old, maybe about 3 days old, probably. This one's got a little bit of a blister on its behind. No idea what's causing. See, and it immediately triggers. The minute I wipe, it triggers them to go pee. I don't know why he has a blister on his behind. No idea what that means. Brownie, you don't need to be over here, Bubbas. Then they go potty. And you just kind of keep doing this. And of course, you're going to have to wash your hands after. Some people wear gloves, some people don't. I don't know. I got desensitized to it so long ago. Whenever I did all of those kittens and I was just running through gloves every day, that at some point it just became, you know what, I'm just thoroughly washing my hands with soap when I'm done. And usually once they're done, they kind of start fighting you a little bit. When they're done pooping, you kind of can tell, or done peeing, you can kind of tell that they're not wanting you to do it anymore. There's like a resistance almost that starts happening, and you can get an idea. Sorry, I know it's gross, but you can get an idea of how much they need to go pee or poop. Once you get used to taking care of them, you want to potty them every time you feed them. They need to be pottied. So, otherwise, these babies can literally die. If you do not potty them, they will die. So, like I said, it's not just all cute and games and everything when you raise up kittens. Now, I tell you guys, it is worth it. Yes, this is a gross part of it. This right here. Like, ew. Whatever. It's disgusting. But, you gotta think about the fact that you're saving their lives. They die without you. And, they're just innocent little babies, you know? Anyways, I'll finish up with these guys. I need to get them back underneath the heat lamp. So, when you're raising up baby kittens, point one, never use cow milk. Okay? Do not ever feed baby kittens cow milk. The only things that baby kittens should ever get, regardless, like until they're able to eat real food, the only thing that you should be feeding baby kittens is either kitten formula, which is available at most grocery stores and pretty much most pet stores or feed stores. You can call ahead and ask them if they have kitten formula in stock. It needs to be kitten formula, not puppy formula. Those are two different things. They're different animals. One's a canine, one's a feline. A lot of people don't see the big deal. It's a big difference. Anyways, formula. And if you can't find any kitten formula, okay, goat's milk. Goat's milk will work, okay? It will keep them alive. It will keep them going. It is something their bodies can digest. Cow milk, they cannot. Cow milk's bad. Goat's milk can work. Now, I'm not 100% sure if it has to be in a certain condition, like what kind of goat's milk. I never used goat's milk for my kittens, so I'm not 100% sure if it needs to be fresh, if store-bought goat's milk is acceptable. I have no idea. That's something you'd have to look up yourself. But I know goat's milk and what's it called? And then the kitten formula, which you can pretty much buy anywhere. The kitten formula is about the same price as human formula, guys. It is like a good $10 to $20 a can of powder. And then some places will only have liquid, canned liquid, like where it's pre-mixed already. You got to make sure you shake that stuff real good because it's stuff inside the formula that settles, and then you're not getting all the nutrition. I hate using those ones because they're just a hassle. I much prefer the powder. Also, just like with human babies, never, ever, ever warm up their milk in a microwave. Okay? So when I'm doing their milk, I have the milk in a separate cup, okay, the formula. I have my syringe to draw the milk and to feed it to them, right? And then I have a completely separate cup that I can put in the microwave to heat up the water, okay? And what I do is I will put the milk in a, like, draw the milk in a syringe, right? And then place the syringe in the water, okay? Let it warm up. Test it on your wrist and the tips of your fingers before you give it to them. Make sure it feels warm but not hot to you. Also, feeding cold, freezing kittens that are near death, it's not going to work. Okay, first of all, if you've got a kitten that's like dying or something, feeding it food into its mouth, chances are it's just going to cause aspiration, meaning that it's just going to be breathing in the milk into its airways because it's already not going to be able to have its feed response isn't going to be working. Second, feeding a cold kitten isn't really going to be beneficial because the cold kitten cannot digest the food properly. It needs to be warm. So the very first thing when you find the kitties, do not give them water. Warm them up right away, and right away try and contact a vet, a rescue. Go on online on Facebook pages that are specifically made for these kind of scenarios. So like, cat rescue pages, cat veterinary pages, things like that, where you got some people who actually know what they're talking about. Do your research, right? Again, these kittens need to be taken care of every 1 to 2 hours, fed and pottied. Um, and that continues for a long time. As they get older, that time span does get longer. So it'll go from like every 2 hours to every 3 hours. It'll go from every 3 hours to every 4 hours, right? Like as they get older, there is more time in between each feeding. Little Roly. But they are um it is difficult, but it is rewarding in a way because and you do build a very special bond with the kitten. Like if you have like a kitten or two. Hello. Thank you for watching. um, but yeah, as you raise them up, they do build a very special bond with you. But yeah, they need to be kept warm. You basically become their protector. You basically become their parent, and you need to replace everything Mom does. Are you so curious what's going on over here? Huh, Goofy? Yeah, you used to be little like that. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Anyway, guys, I just wanted to let you guys see real quick how to do the feeding. I need to get them back under their heat lamp. Some of the ways that people like to keep them warm is to use a heat mat or a heat lamp. Regardless of what heat source you're using, be sure to only use it on half of wherever you're keeping them. So if it's a heat mat, use it underneath half of what they're inside of, right? And place them right in the center so they can go towards the heat or away from the heat, okay? And then if it's a heat lamp, same thing. Kind of point it at a corner, right? So they can get away from the heat or towards the heat. It's really important to do that because you don't want them to overheat and you don't want them to get too cold. So, and they will move around. They're not walking, they're crawling. This is a crawling stage they're in. They are capable of moving around towards and away from different things. They're very tired now. The orange one ate a lot, so this one's going into a milk coma now that I've gotten him. He's gotten well fed now. You can see these guys are still trying to properly get hydrated because their little ears are bunch of poor babies. We're working on it, trying to get them back to being strong. And I'm feeding them much more often right now, so that's why I said every 1 to 2 hours, is because at this stage right now, because they were found orphaned and abandoned, and I had no idea how long they'd gone without food, I was not going to just shove a bunch of food into them, okay? That's why it's every hour and just a smaller amount in the beginning, because you got to think about when you're starving, right? And you start just eating a whole lot of food, like say if a homeless person or a homeless child, you run into them, they're struggling, they're suffering. You decide that you want to be kind and help, and you give them food. They often will munch it down as fast as they can. But if you were to do this with, like, if you were to take that person to a medical facility, what would actually happen is the doctors and the nurses would actually tell the person to slow down and often just give them small amounts of food at a time. And the reason they do this is so to make sure that their bodies don't get overwhelmed, they don't get sick. Because if they get sick, it will dehydrate them even more, right? And often their bodies can't really process the food properly because it doesn't have any energy, right? So you need to start slow, slowly increase, right, babe? Slow increase when somebody's been starving and like not overwhelm the body with a whole lot right away. And it's our instinct to want to shove a bunch of food and water into something that's been starving and dehydrated but it's wrong. Slowly increasing. Steady, slow increase. Like, it's like if you've been severely dehydrated, start drinking water, yes, but don't just chug a bunch of water. Like drink water. Lukewarm water. Yeah. And then, like, just there are some tricks out there, things that you can do, other things, but all of those things are just, things that you can look up. But I was just trying to kind of give you guys a little bit of an idea of what's going on over here on our property. I am hello, Natalia. Yes, I love cats as well, but I do love them, but I'm still stuck with a whole lot of kitties that I rescued last because I can't help but help them. And I don't have the time or money to raise these guys up to buy all that formula and stuff. So I'm actually right now talking to a person who's supposed to be coming and getting these guys on Thursday, tomorrow, to raise them, to finish taking care of them and raise them up to then find them homes. So one of them already sadly passed away. We don't know if somebody threw them out of their car driving past the neighborhood or something. If somebody like dropped them off on the property, which is totally possible, if a mama cat abandoned them, or if like a mama cat was killed and they just came out of hiding and just started running all over the place, because I found them scattered all over the yard, so like all of our properties. So, and I searched for a long time to make sure I had them all, and we listened a lot, staying outside for a long time that evening to make sure that we had um found everyone, because we couldn't just leave them out in the yard, because at this size, chickens will eat them. Chickens will eat small mammals. They will eat mice, and they will eat rodents, and they will eat frogs, and they would eat something little like this, because to them, that chickens are predators. They're not just prey. They're also predators. They eat bugs, and they eat small animals. Anyway, that's going to be it for, hello. Um, Today's video. I just wanted to share real quick how I'm taking care of these guys right now. Again, really important, when you find little orphan kittens, don't give them water. If you don't have any kitten formula, if you don't know what you're doing, if you're not familiar with the situation, contact an expert, a vet, even a shelter, like an animal shelter, can give you advice on what your first aid should look like how you can save them. Um, your best bet, if you don't know what you're doing, you can't reach like a rescue, something to step in right now, is literally just to drive out to a veterinarian, like start calling veterinarians and being like, hey, I need help. Like, I don't know what I'm doing. Can you guys show me how to feed him or something? And a lot of times, not always, but a lot of times, a vet tech or a nurse, especially if they're not overwhelmed and super busy, a lot of times they'll be willing to help you teach how to care for them. These guys' eyes are still closed. They don't open until they are about 2 weeks old. These guys are only a few days old at most. You are just passed out. My goodness. You are just passed out. Little orange one is just so tired. Look at him. He's just complaining. He's like, I'm sleeping. Anyway, y'all have a wonderful day. I hope you guys enjoyed seeing the kittens. I'm going to go ahead and get them back underneath that heat lamp, and I'll keep you guys posted how everything goes. Bye.